Welcome to the Garage Audit. My name is Ivan. Today we have a special guest. His name is Pan. You might know him as Pan the Organizer.
That's right.
And you've all seen his shop before, but we're going to go a little more in depth. We're going to find out why he did the things he did, because you see how clean it is in here. It's always this way. I've been here in the middle of winter with this raging snowstorm outside, and it's like this inside all the time. So, Pan, congratulations on having always a clean shop.
Thank you. Today's a little dirty because we did something special.
Yeah.
Which they can find out by watching our respective channels. We did a little collab.
Yeah.
So we washed a vehicle, but I won't say more than that because it's something that blew my mind and we were laughing all along.
So we're going to start in one corner and just work our way around. There's a lot to see here. So,
okay. This is the, I like to say, the epitome of exaggeration and passion from 28 years of detailing. I started when I was 16.
Yep.
You don't need all of this, guys, believe me, to do your work. So I think the passion became an obsession, right?
Right, yeah.
Like many of us. So if we start off here, I have a few of the equipment that I try to stack. Keep in mind, this garage is in my home.
Right.
So it also serves for our cars. So there's so much I can do, but the majority of it was thought for doing detailing.
Yeah.
So of course I got a seat. This is my Viper chair seat.
Yep.
Super comfortable positioning. We'll get to another one that you created not too far from now. But yeah, you need positioning when you're doing detailing, especially when we're polishing vehicles. Good posture is good. And I still have things to learn because my back hurts all the time. But this seat, the build quality is insane. So I got a few brushes, very important. And this is Ivan who actually got me into this, is a floor squeegee. Because on the floor, we have a polyurea top coat. So it's a protective layer. So it's impact resistant.
Yeah.
UV protection in there. It's resistant to chemicals. It's anti-slip, which is important as well.
Right.
And super easy to maintain. So pressure wash when you're done, pressure rinse.
Yeah.
And then you take your squeegee and you squeegee all that water into, we have dual floor drains in this garage. It's a double garage. So 24 feet by 24 feet.
Yep.
13 feet high ceilings. So quite a big environment. I have some acoustic panels that we installed with a team that also did my custom home theater.
Okay.
Because this is my studio, right? So we don't have any reverb. We can talk nicely, have good audio quality. And so yeah, dual drains with each drain sloped. So each car in the wintertime, all that ice, dirt, crap goes into the drains. And same thing when we're detailing vehicles. So the squeegee is important to have.
Yep.
I have a bucket here. It's a System 4000 from Lake Country, so a pad washer. When you're polishing vehicles, I like to clean the pads itself. I have an entry-level extractor. We'll have a more industrial one later on over there. Here is a little kind of storage for a few of the items. So I have a sound system, very important for me when I'm detailing vehicles. I like to listen to music.
Yes.
So talking with my buddy Matt from Obsessed Garage, so he loves audio as well. And this is a kit I got from them, from Dyne Audio. I have a subwoofer there. I have a Node Icon streamer, so this serves as a DAC and as a streamer, so I can use my music from my phone.
Good.
I have a bunch of tools that I can normally use, including some things like mini blow dryers, kind of thing.
The Kiev shower.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, the Kiev shower nozzle, by the way, if you guys want to see that, this is a cool little add-on that you add to your pressure washer gun, and it creates kind of a shower setting. I got a bunch of chargers here and over there for the different batteries because I got so many different polishers and blowers and attachments and cordless drills and cordless items. So we have a few chargers. I try to keep things as clean as I can. A few buckets here underneath. If we move on to here, I got a Ely garden hose and Ely hose reel. So cast aluminum, super high quality, 3/4 inch hose. This is also connected to a CR spotless, so a DI system, de-ionizer. So even though for the house, I have a water softener that does not remove 100% of minerals. So for detailing cars, especially for the final rinse, I like to have 0 ppm water, so no minerals whatsoever. And technically you can let that air dry and there's gonna be no water spotting.
Now, one thing to add to that, you have a water softener.
Yeah.
Water softeners, a lot of people think, oh, if I do the water softener before my DI system, it's gonna make it last longer.
No.
It actually is the other way around. So the salt in the water softener actually really
it depletes the resin.
Yeah,
a lot, and you're blowing through resin a lot more. So that's the DI system. Of course, I have my Krenzla pressure washer. This is the 1122 TST, 2.1 gallons per minute. I set it to around 1,000 PSI. When you're washing cars, you want to stick between 1,000 to 2,000. Don't use 3,000 to 4,000 PSI with gas-powered units. So this is built like a tank. Here we got more buckets when I need. I think I have too many buckets, right? There's like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Too many buckets.
Yeah.
We have I have a feeling Ivan's going to have a lot to say at the end of this video. So here we have one of the car dryers. So if I want to have ultimate heated and filtered air, so this is one of them here. from Metrovac, the Master Blaster Revolution. On the other side, so to make it more efficient, I have the Big Boy Blower R Pro. So these are corded ones. I have cordless blowers, which we're going to get to in a little bit.
Yeah.
Here in this corner, I have a sink to be able to wash stuff, wash my hands or tools or that kind of stuff with hot and cold water. Foam cannons, a few of the collection up here. The ceramic coatings that I use for jobs, more spray sealants or spray coatings up here up top. Here in the bottom, so this is more storage. We have all the brushes here on the side and the inspection lights, by the way, and things like, of course, ear protection when you're blow drying your vehicle. I have an integrated vacuum with the central system for the house.
Yeah.
I also have a separate Ego vacuum here. This is cordless battery powered. We got a steam cleaner from McCulloch. We also got an air compressor from Rigid, double tank. This has enough power to power the Tornador tools, for example.
Yeah.
I have just a few detailing chemicals on these shelves.
Yeah, no.
Of course, a lot of DIY detail, Clean by Pan, the organizer,
Yeah.
you know me, but I give love to all these brands. I like to try, test stuff all the time. This is a detailing channel, so obviously that's why you see a lot. You do not need all of this to
No.
wash cars, guys. So don't do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just love detailing stuff. So here's a lot of the chemicals. We have a lot more of the chargers here for the things I use, like the DIY cordless polishers, for example. We have the Rupes, Big Boy Blower. We have the Flex, the new generation 24 volts. Of course, Ego charger with the batteries and extra.
Yeah.
Then we move to my workbench. So what I do here is I organize things like microfiber towels. So these are Rousseau cabinets. Shout out Obsessed Garage. He got me into this. They're made in my home province of Quebec here in Canada. Super high end, super high quality.
Yeah.
Metal fabrication. They can withstand up to 800 pounds. Correct me if I'm wrong, but 800 pounds of weight, and they don't flex. So I have tools in here, and of course detailing tools and pads and brushes and lights and clay towels and whatever I need to do the work. I like to have a garbage and a recycling bin integrated as well. So to throw stuff, I have that handy and practical. Then we move to a custom storage that Rousseau made for me because they always tailor things to your needs. So for more detailing chemicals,
Yeah.
I'm ashamed there's way too much. So I have rolling racks here so I can easily access things I'm looking for in the back. And another cool feature, because when I'm doing vehicles, I like to store everything when I'm done. So I have my detailing cart that is in here with its braking system. So you release those and then you can pull it out. And then you have whatever you need on here, drying towels, you have brushes. I got a cubby hole here, a little drawer that I can open with more brushes and then conveniently bring stuff with you. You got squeegees in the back, it turns around. So basically kind of a workstation.
Squeegees?
Squeegees, yep, for glass.
Okay.
I like that sometimes.
Yeah.
And then when you're done, you just store it away, put the brakes on, and then it's not in the way anymore.
Right.
So I like these a lot. Then we have more storage because why? Just more chemicals.
Yeah.
So this is where I like to keep the gallon sizes of a lot of products, including the Clean by Pan stuff. We got more products here on the shelves, of course, spray bottles, pump sprayers from IK, Big Boy, SPTA, you name it. I got dual blowers here from Big Boy and Ego, so cordless. This is actually the ones that I use the most because although the corded have more power technically,
Yes.
you just have to plug them in, wheel them around when needed and all that kind of stuff. These guys, you just go around the vehicle and it's super quick. So I like the practicality.
And I noticed you had
aspect
the
of that.
little Ryobi one too.
Yes, the little blower. Yeah, that
Yeah.
video did super well. It's not as powerful, obviously, as these guys pushing 650 CFM.
Yeah.
But still to like dry wheels, tires, engine bays, things
Yeah.
like that, fantastic. We got more storage up here, of course. Microfiber towels, any extras that are there. So just storage. Here we have a heat pump, by the way. When people ask me why, it does heating and cooling, so I can stay in my garage year round and still detail. That's important for me.
Right.
For the wall themselves, we used mold-resistant drywall, mold-resistant kitchen bathrooms paint.
Yep.
We have that does supplemental dehumidifying. We also have a dedicated dehumidifier to really help keep this place. I'd like to keep it at around 45% humidity
Yeah.
and a steady 68 Fahrenheit or 20 degrees Celsius. That's optimal for me. We got the high bay lights, LEDs, tons of lumen output, so I can see what I'm doing when I'm detailing. It's not perfect, but there's a lot of light. Here we got custom racks for the polishers. So I have way too many. That's another thing. I think I'm up to 15 or 20 polishers. These are the ones I like to use the most currently. I'm always updating the collection. So we got the corded Clean by Pan deorganizer dual action. We got the 2 DIY Details amazing polishers, by the way. These are the cord free, so cordless. And if you guys notice, batteries in the center. Positioning on this, I made a full review. You guys check that out. So good job, Yvan. He's always thinking and tinkering to come out with stuff nobody's ever seen. So more polishers here. We got some smaller ones, the micro polishers, 3-inch, 1-inch, and things like that. Again, the dehumidifier. This is something that you haven't officially released yet.
No.
But that is so practical. So you call this, Yvan, how do you call it?
We're calling it the Lacroix Cruiser for now.
The Lacroix Cruiser. So basically it's a thing with rollerblade wheels where you can store some things in that cubby here, but it's on a height adjustable seat and it always keeps your back straight when you're polishing with this, and you can move around and just slide around the vehicle. Amazing. So this was really, really cool with kind of a leather bike type seat situation, made of aluminum, super lightweight. Here I have a professional grade Mighty extractor when you're doing those disgusting carpets. I have another small compressor here. Just put some air in things. And,
but inflate.
I wouldn't use Tornador tools with that. That's when I use my big boy compressor over there. But this guy really does the job. It's small, it's compact, it works super well. And so, we get more from the frosted glass here, more kind of light intake during the day, of course.
Right.
And that's the tour.
Excellent. Now, a few things I'd like to point out that Pan didn't. He has concrete going up about 18 inches all the way around. So he could technically flood this 18 inches despite the stairs going down to the basement. But if you wanted to, so not an issue about getting mold or water along there. And you've got the polyurea.
Polyurea top coat. Yeah, that's that clear coat that they put on top of the flakes.
Yeah, and that goes up all the way.
Exactly.
Same thing to the stairs into the house.
Yep, it's sealed.
The mini split heat pump is a great addition to any garage. They're not expensive. They're easy to install. Yep. It's worth it. Yep. You can usually pick them up for under $1,000. They'll do a space this size. Very easy to do. You can install them yourself.
Yeah.
If we go over here.
Yes.
This is probably the messiest corner in your garage.
Absolutely.
So having some way of hanging up the brushes and the squeegees and stuff might be a good thing to think of. But I know, knowing Pan, I'm looking for the ultimate solution.
Correct.
And until I find it, they're staying there.
Exactly.
The other shelf that you've got here, I like to say that horizontal surfaces in most garages accumulate stuff.
Yeah.
That is not the case with you. So, it always looks this way. No matter, you can surprise him, come here on a Saturday when he's in the middle of a detail.
Actually, this is as dirty as it gets for me. Yeah,
exactly.
Yep.
With that, the pressure washer, every time I come here, Pan spends about 5 minutes setting it up and taking it down. That eventually, having a nice cabinet on the wall, I'm sure Rousseau can make something for you, or a shelf that allows you to have the pressure washer set up ready to go, where all you have to do is
kind of a wall mount setup. Yeah, absolutely.
So that's in Pan's future.
Yep.
The Bissell, I don't know why you keep that.
It was for a comparison video of what a $150 machine can do compared to a $1,500 machine. And so it's still there. Well, definitely you get more power, more everything, but can it still do the job for like DIY who doesn't want to spend a big budget? Yeah, you can get the job done.
Okay. Yeah. And how often do you actually use an extractor?
This one more often, this one almost never. Yeah. So this one is only on super dirty cars, but on mine that I maintain all the time, I never need that extractor. Yeah.
Yeah. From there,
by the way, Yvan.
Yeah.
Because this might be important, I have some 20 amp circuits that we set around. So I have dual 15s, dual 20s. Right. Because for things like the Krenzler with the foam cannon or something that pulls out a lot of juice, sometimes some polishers or whatever can spike the amperage, I want to be safe and have just that extra juice going. So 20 amp circuits are good.
Excellent. Now behind this plate, what do you have there?
That's going to be if I get a electric vehicle by code. New homes now they have that. Yeah. So I'll be able to have the charging station. So it goes to a 240 volt in the panel and the button.
So you're ready to go to charge.
Yep. Okay. Exactly.
When we go over here, this corner, I like the hot and cold running water. That's always a great thing. Putting your hands in a bucket of cold water in the winter is never fun. Yeah. In the summer, it's actually a good thing. Mm-hmm. But in the winter, you never want to do that. The as I call it in many people's places, the Pan shelf. Here we actually have Pan, so it is the Pan shelf. Yes, for the average consumer, this is fun to have. It's definitely not necessary. No. And if you're a professional detailer, this is something you actually don't want. No. Because you're giving yourself too many choices. Yes. And especially if you have employees. Yeah. And they get confused on which ones to pick. Right. If you don't have standard operating procedures. Yeah. Yeah. This is really nice. To me, like I say, workbenches are not necessarily a good thing in a shop. For Pan, he has a specific use for this.
Yep.
You see his videos, he's often standing here.
Yes.
So he has his logo there. He can show the products, etc. So it has a purpose.
Exactly.
It's not just a decoration. And everything in the shop actually does have a purpose, which is good. You don't have anything. The only thing I would say you have for decoration, and it's not really for decoration, is the panels.
Yep, the sound panels.
Yeah. And
They're functional.
They're definitely functional. This wall, you've got a couple outlets that you could use if you needed to. You've got the big boy there. I like that the cabinets are high enough that when you're parking your car here, you're not hitting your head on the,
Yes.
well, you would hit your head on it, but
Yeah.
Isabel doesn't hit her head on
No.
them, so she can probably walk underneath them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she parks on this side?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. And you've got a nice wide door. The natural lighting is good, which for us, someone that this is their home garage, they're doing some detailing, the natural lighting is actually good. For Pan, it's actually a negative in the sense that when he's filming, it changes the way the light enters the room and you have to adjust your filming
Correct. Yeah.
in accordance to that.
Aperture and shutter speed.
Right. So sometimes it would be nice to have, I've seen them before, they have the ones where they're remote controlled and they just shut down.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
Eventually. Again, you've got overflow products there.
Yeah.
So, and I see one product on the shelf that I don't think anyone in the U.S. has ever seen before.
And I'm
Jigaloo.
pretty sure Jigaloo, I knew it. Yeah, that's the garage door lubricant.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it actually works pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you'd never want to use Jigaloo in a body shop. They're silicone based.
Yes.
But you have access down to your basement here. You have access to the house there.
Yep.
So that's great. The shop you said is 24 by 24.
Yeah, 24 feet by 24 feet with 13 feet high ceilings. And we also used a wall-mounted garage opener on the side. So that's the high-end LiftMaster instead of having it on the center. So we don't have any tracks and wasted space there.
Yeah, and they're a lot quieter too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You don't hear them.
Right. So if you're trying to sneak out at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Isabel, you don't know when I'm going to buy more detailing products. I can just sneak out of the house.
Yeah. No, it's actually him bringing cars in and out.
Yeah.
One thing that a lot of people don't realize is Pan is out here detailing in the middle of the night.
Mm-hmm.
That way he's not getting noise from his neighbors. He's not getting noise from cars going by.
No phone calls.
No phone calls, not bothering anything.
Yep.
So don't call Pan at 8 o'clock in the morning. He's just gone to bed. Yeah. So he's a night owl, we'll put it that way.
Yeah, I go to bed at like 4 a.m.
Yeah, 4 a.m. and then gets up around 11 or so.
Yeah.
So very good. And I've known this about Pan for years. So never send Pan a text at 8 o'clock in the morning. You're not going to get an answer. Send it to him at midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 in the morning. You'll get an answer. And that's generally when I'm texting you. So other than that, your polisher's hanging on the wall. That's great. One thing that you would greatly benefit from is changing compressors.
Okay.
So if we were to put an actual compressor, be it here, we could actually put it out in your garden shed, run the line in if you want it, if you didn't want the noise of it or didn't want to take up the space.
Yeah.
But having a larger compressor with a dedicated reel, you have this, but like you said, if you're doing the Tornador, you have to pull the other one out, you have to plug it in.
Yep.
So you're just missing a few convenience items.
Yes.
That's the only thing I would change in this shop is a few convenience items.
Yeah, power reels and air reels, that would be super convenient, yeah.
That and putting, and I've said this in many of the garage audits, but a bit of light on the door. Because having detailed cars in here, when there's a car there and you're here, this is the dark spot.
Yes.
You don't see the back of the vehicle correctly.
I need supplemental lighting that I have there.
Yeah.
So I have to put them on a tripod and illuminate and
Right. But there are ways to light this up that it's very simple. And we might do a collaboration video at some point where I come in here and set up his pressure washer and a compressor and lighting just to
improve things. Constant improvement, yeah.
Well, and to make it more convenient.
Yes.
One of the things, whether it's a home shop or a professional shop, is having that convenience. It's having that ability to drive the car in and you can start working right away.
I agree.
Not having to, I have to set the pressure washer up, I have to do this, I have to do this. When you have all those obstacles in the way, it makes detailing a lot less fun, but at the same time, it makes it so that that day you might not do it because, I don't feel like...
That 5-10 minutes lost on that, I agree.
Yeah. So if you have any questions, comments, thoughts, or ideas for Pan, I'm not going to give him a report card like I normally do. you've seen the place before. You've seen it in, thousands of videos of his. How long have you been in this?
5 years.
5 years?
Yep.
Yeah. So
It's been a constant evolution.
Yeah, it's always changing. It's always improving, like Pan. And on the House of Rags, you can find the Clean by Pan the Organizer product line. You can find the DIY product line. And thank you to the House of Rags for providing a place or a shop to do the shop audits.
Absolutely.
Or garage audits. And you never know, I might be at your garage next.